Okay, my chef, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, how are you
Mm.
doing today? Yeah, so let's use the next say 5 minutes to wait for others. So I'll just play this video about learning strategy for programmers.
Hi there, I'm Andy Serkowitz. I'm a self-taught programmer, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 learning strategies that are very helpful for self-taught programmers. These are different learning strategies that I've come across over the years since I've become a software developer, but also things that I used when I originally started out on my own path in becoming a self-taught software developer. So the reason I think these are so important for people who are just starting out, or even if you maybe landed your first job as a software developer, is that I see a lot of people out there who are working really hard. They are spending a lot of their time, they're sacrificing a lot of their time, their mental energy on learning, right? So they're buying tutorials, or maybe they're building applications, watching videos. They're putting so much time and effort into things, into learning, but they are not doing much more than that. They're just hoping that putting a lot of time in, putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this is going to be enough to get them their first job. And the truth is that hope or hoping is not truly a strategy. You need to be systematic, not only about your overall approach, but even about how you learn. So if you're just going to sit down for 8 hours and try to blow through a textbook, or sit down and watch a YouTube video for 5 hours, no matter how good that tutorial is, no matter how good that book is, unless you have a strategy for learning, a specific strategy, understanding psychology, how to remember things, for example, how to get the most out of your learning, then you're simply not going to be as efficient as your time as someone else who understands those basic principles. So I'm going to cover those today. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, I'm Andy Serkowitz, and I help people get their career started in programming. So if you're looking to teach yourself how to code and land your first job, doing meaningful work and creative work as a software developer, then consider subscribing below and making sure to also hit that bell icon so you get notifications anytime I put out a new video. So with that being said, let's just dive into the 5 learning strategies. All right, so the first learning strategy is really knowing the sweet spot for you between active and passive learning. And active and passive learning, you could put like this. Passive learning would be something where you're learning passively, right? So you're reading a book, you're kind of just sitting there laying back, reading the book, maybe you're watching a tutorial where you're not really actively participating. Some people call this conceptual learning. And you can look at that as the opposite of active learning or hands-on learning, maybe where you're actually applying the knowledge you're learning and using it to build an application. Maybe you're doing some coding problems or some like whiteboarding interview problems, right? So these two are sort of diametrically opposed in terms of how you interact with them. One is like, I'm going to do something, versus one is sort of, I'm just going to lay back. And you have to make sure you find that sweet spot, because if you are 100% conceptual learning, then you are going to run the risk of not being able to actually problem solve, like actually go to a code editor and start applying the knowledge you've learned. And the opposite is true, is all you're trying to do is just put code in a code editor, but you don't know the basic syntax of a programming language, or you don't know the basic concepts, then there's something that's going to be lacking and your growth is going to slow down. So you have to understand that sweet spot. Now, the sweet spot really kind of depends on where you're at. I'd say if you're earlier on in your career, or if you're early on in your self-taught journey, you're going to want to focus more on the conceptual. Like a 2-to-1 ratio, I think, is okay. Meaning for every 2 hours of conceptual learning, you want to have 1 hour of your, active learning, where you're actually manipulating code in a code editor. Later on, maybe once you're kind of farther along, you have some basic concepts of programming down, you probably want to go closer to 1-to-1, meaning 1 hour of passive learning to 1 hour of active learning. So you want to keep it about equal, or about the same. And look, later on, this could really change drastically. I think once you're into your career and you're really just in the thick of it, I think that ratio skews more towards, it could be 4 hours of active learning versus 1 hour of passive learning. But again, it really depends on where you're at. As you grow in your career, it could swing way back to the 2 hours of passive versus 1 hour active. Maybe you're making a big push to learn a new framework that just came out, or whatever. So just keep that in mind. There is a sweet spot. You want to find it for yourself. The second learning strategy is really important as well, and that is to apply spacing to your learning. So a good example of this, maybe you're going to go and learn a new concept in programming. Let's say you're learning C# and you want to learn about dependency injection. So you go on Pluralsight, which is a fantastic site to get extended learning once you're in your career. So you're learning dependency injection, like a 5-hour course. Let's say it's a 7-hour course. It's a nice round number, right? 7-hour course, and you want to just cram today. So you're going to spend 7 hours learning it, maybe over the course of 8 or 10 hours. You're going to take a few breaks, but you're just going to cram it all into today because you want to get dependency injection down. Like, check mark, I got it. Well, instead of cramming it all in one day, what studies have actually shown is it's better to take that 7-hour course and spread it out over time. So if you take that course and spread it out 1 hour over each day, you're more likely to retain this information. And part of the reason why we think that this occurs is because when you're cramming it all in one day, it seems like you're making momentum, but the actual truth is that when you have to spread this out over time, is that you're going to be revisiting this each and every day. But even more important than that is you're going to be forgetting knowledge each and every day, right? So day one, you get this momentum built, you're learning that first hour, maybe they're covering basic principles of dependency injection. All of a sudden you're taking an 8-hour break or 10-hour break to sleep, eat, do whatever you have to do. And then you're coming back to the next day and you're like, oh, wait, what were we talking about again? And so you have to sort of re-remember things. And that forces your brain to put certain things in longer term memory. At least that's the theory. But I found that to be true as well. So, the number one rule here is avoid cramming whenever possible. Sometimes you got to cram, right? But really try to space things out over time. The third learning strategy that I cannot recommend enough is teaching concepts or re-explaining concepts that you just learned, right? So if you're knee deep in learning some concept right now and you think you got it down, the best way to really test your knowledge is to write a blog post about it and explain what you just learned in detail, or even just writing a journal entry. Or if maybe you're part of a group of people who are at your level, right? Maybe they're intermediate or below, or even something like my Facebook group where there's a lot of people looking to become software developers, so you could definitely do it in there. If you're in that sort of group, you could sort of explain what you're learning, explain a concept and say, am I right here? Am I thinking right? Because when you have to formulate an idea, you learn so much more. And I've definitely learned this myself now that I'm mentoring people and coaching people to become software developers and start their career. I've really learned that many of the concepts I thought I knew down really well, there were some gray areas, or there were some areas that I didn't really know or grasp, because when people ask me, oh, why did you choose that decision? Or why did you make that decision? I had to really think deeply about it. So re-explain to others, and you can do that through a blog post or journaling, or even helping others in a social community of some sort. The fourth learning strategy comes directly from my experience of learning programming, and that is to keep track of all the things that you have questions about. And what I usually say is keep track of all your whys. So this is something I found happening a lot when I was watching tutorials or reading books. And you know, when you're watching a tutorial and you're just making good momentum, or you're reading through a book and you're making good momentum, you don't really want to stop when you have questions. You don't want to go off on a rabbit chase on Google, because you're making progress with the book. And that happens all the time, right? You can have some base underlying questions you don't know about. Well, the best thing you can do is to have either legal pad that you keep next to your desk, or maybe a text editor or a Google document with all the questions that you want to ask that are really bothering you, that you can answer right now. Maybe you can push it off for later. So if you're learning about JavaScript and you're like, what is this keyword that I keep seeing all over this? I really don't understand this. Well, if the instructor of the course you're watching or the book you're reading isn't explaining it, write it down. Say, what is this in JavaScript? And then later on, at some future point, after you've had some time away, maybe you can revisit the concept. You can go off on a rabbit chase for a half hour or an hour, whatever you feel is comfortable for you. The problem I see with a lot of people who don't track what they are forgetting, or they aren't keeping track of what they don't know, is that when they get done with the tutorial or when they get done with the book, they just have all these things in their head that they remembered they didn't know, and so they feel very frustrated. But if they can just clarify, okay, there's like 5 things that I really wanted to learn, and then they spend the time after their book is done or after the tutorial is done, then they're gonna feel a lot more confident moving forward, that at least they have some understanding about what's going on. So keep track of what you don't know. Be pretty diligent about this. I like a legal pad next to my desk, but you can easily use like Google Docs or maybe a Evernote document as well. And the 5th learning strategy is really a foundational principle for all effective learning, and that is knowing how to rest and recover. And I see a lot of people out there who are going the hustle and grind route, and I totally respect that. And they're talking about how they're working 12 hours or studying for 12 hours. Maybe they're working a full-time job. They're sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, putting their heart and soul into this, their blood, sweat, and tears. And like I appreciate that than anyone else, but you also have to understand that resting and recovering, meaning taking time off to sleep, taking just time off to think about some other things, like hang out with friends and do normal things, is so important for you to retain as much information as possible. And just, it's generally good for you in a long-term perspective, because if you're going to be studying for a long period of time, which this takes more than just a few weeks, you want to make sure that you are looking at this long-term. I think studies are pretty clear about the effects of lack of sleep on our cognitive and executive functions, meaning that when you start getting or racking up sleep deprivation, that your IQ drops. This also happens with stress, by the way. So if you're missing out on sleep, if you're not taking breaks, your stress levels are going to go up. You're going to lose a lot of sleep, and your IQ literally drops by about, I think, 10 to 15 points. And also, too, they found that people who get into deeper levels of sleep deprivation, also they'll see the same effects as I think a 0.1 BAC, or basically being drunk. So you imagine if you're putting in all this work, you're sacrificing time away from friends and family, you really want to get this done, but you're putting yourself under, you're not sleeping a lot, you're not really taking breaks. Well, you're literally working on a lower IQ level. You're working like you're being drunk, and that's not effective for doing what you want to be doing. So make sure to apply the principles of rest. Assume that like you're an Olympic athlete and you need your rest. You can't just be working out all day. And the same thing comes to studying. When you study hard, but when you take breaks, be just as disciplined about not doing the work and stepping away and making sure you're getting sleep. So rest and recovery are huge. Don't forget about that. So that's really it. Those are my 5 learning strategies that I've used as a self-taught programmer. I hope they are really helpful. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Other than that, by the way, if you are still at that beginning point where you're trying to figure things out in terms of what programming languages to learn, what path you want to take, if you are still in that same position, I've created a PDF report of the 5 best programming languages to learn in 2019. It's a pretty comprehensive report. It's really going to help give you a lot of clarity about some of the different options out there. I'll give you my opinion on what I think is the best to learn, especially if you're at a newer stage and trying to figure out what to learn. So I highly recommend checking that out. If you want to download that report, go to andysterkowitz.com/report. Other than that, that's really all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out. See you later.
Okay. Am I still sharing my screen?
Yes, you're still sharing.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hope we had a great weekend or a great week. Let me start from there. Hope we had a great.
Yeah, the week was okay.
Okay, let's start with this. Yeah, let's start with sorting out the challenges that we had during the week. You have questions that wasn't clarified. During the week that you just want us to talk about, or you have any major blocker that you think we should talk about. Anyone? So I want to believe everyone is good. Okay, so today I want us to do a recap of everything that we've done in 2 weeks. I know it's been for some people it's been a lot of work. Yeah. So I want us to recap just HTML and CSS, and I want today's class lesson to be as brief as possible, so we can get to go back and do all of these things. And then we're going to do demo. Yeah, for those that didn't do demo last week, yeah, who had something to show this week? Does any one of us have something to show before we start?
Yeah, I have some.
Mic check. Okay, awesome. You can share your screen.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I can't see my mommy waiting anymore.
Most disabled participants.
That's right now.
Okay. Okay. So that's my. I hope I'm sure. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. This is my HTML code.
Yeah, sharing the code here.
Yeah, no, not perfect really. And this is my CSS.
No. It doesn't have to be perfect, yeah. Can we see the view?
Okay. Sorry about that. Just a minute, please. Just a minute. So with the help of some of our team members like Debbie, I was able to come up with this. But one of the things I really find kind of tricky is getting what you need from Bootstrap. You know, I'm a novice in programming. Sometimes I know what I need, but how to get what I need sometimes might be a challenge.
Yeah.
You understand? So is there I don't know how to solve that. So for instance, I might need to come up with the supermarket. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yeah. Sometimes I might need to come up with maybe this part where I have the supermarket. And even though Bootstrap has already covered me by giving me some maybe templates or some quick ways, if not because you taught me that, okay, I will go to Bootstrap and look for cards under card section, I'm going to find something that is helpful. What if it's something that does not have to do with cards? How will I actually know the things to search for in Bootstrap?
Yeah, what are you wait, before you go on here, you see this your line number 21.
Okay.
Where you are putting in image.
Okay.
Yeah, it's buggy. If you deploy this thing, it's not going to show. You are showing absolute path to your OS, meaning C user. Yeah. So you are like on the Windows machine. So this one works. So you have to delete everything till you get to images. It has to be. Where's your index? Yeah.
Okay. This line 21.
Yeah, line 21. Yeah. No, delete it from. Take your cursor at the back of images.
Okay.
No, images. You have.
Okay.
Yeah, put it at the back. Is that back or front?
Okay. You want me to delete the images part?
No. Come between images and code mentoring. Yeah.
Okay. Here.
Yeah, no, between images, yeah, you are keeping only that one, delete the other ones. You are keeping images slash. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So I'm deleting this like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's supposed to be backslash.
Oh, okay. All right. Something like this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
Okay.
select images now.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait,
Okay.
yeah, good. Good. Yeah. Perfect. So this
Okay.
should work. So
This
refresh the
is
page.
okay. So this is relative.
Yeah, this is relative to that part.
Okay.
What you've done was an absolute path to the image on
Okay.
your machine. So if you deploy it to the server, yeah,
Okay.
the image is going to be looking for that part on the server
On the
and it's
server.
not going to find it. So this is
Oh,
relative to your project.
yeah.
So if
Okay.
you refresh now, you should see it. Then I will not answer your question.
Okay. Yeah, it's there.
Is there? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now to your question about how do you look for what you want in
Yeah.
Bootstrap? Yeah. Let's go to since you're on the system here. Can you go to Bootstrap?
Okay.
Let me just show you some.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen so that
Okay.
everyone can see?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So now
I.
tell me what.
I.
Yeah. Tell
This
me
is
what you want to solve.
okay. Well, I probably just gave an example about the cards part. But I was able to know the cards part because you said it and you mentioned, okay, for us to use this part, for us to achieve this, we're going to be needing the cards.
Then okay. So this is what happened here.
Okay.
As you code here, you get used to. I think the challenge you're having now is the time to use to
Search.
search for
Yeah.
the problem they are solving
Yeah.
now.
So, yes.
You can do first you can do Google search. It can be very stressful in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to when you do it over time, you get used to exactly what problem you are trying to solve. So for example, I want to add image, or I want to style my image. I can just type it in Google, how to style image height in CSS. It's going to give you several options. Or for example, let me say I want to make my image responsive with Bootstrap. You just search in Google now that how to make image responsive in Bootstrap. Yeah, it's going to give you several options. What I do most of the time is I click the options that take me to the documentation. I don't know if that
Okay.
answers your question.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll start giving it a try.
Yeah,
Uh,
just give it a try. Then
okay.
then today we are don't worry, today we are going to recap Bootstrap. Yeah, we go through Bootstrap all over again.
Okay.
Any other challenge during the week that you want us to quickly just talk through?
So, please, can I still continue with my question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I noticed that well, I have understood the concept of putting sectioning your work. Like, okay, you want to deal with this part, you section it. You want to deal with this part, you section it. My
Yeah.
question now is, why do we have so many classes? Because I've already created this particular div for a particular, I've created a section and I've created a particular div, but I'm having so many class in maybe sometimes per line. I have class this, class that. Why can't I just have one class at the beginning, the one that caters for that whole container, so that I know that, okay, when I call this particular class, it's
Yeah.
probably just adjust for, because I've already sectioned all my works in sections. So
Mm.
that particular class should just cater and just solve the problem for that particular section. When I'm having so many class, in a div I have a class, in another div that is in a div I have a class. I feel it's becoming too much.
No, it's not. I'll show you a quick base now. Then, okay, I know what I'm just going to go. I'll share my screen. Then I'll answer this. Then I'll just go to Google. Then in search element. Then I'll inspect element. Then you see how many classes. Now, say you're gonna have, as long as you are given. Remember, the concept of class is ability to be able to just style a particular HTML element.
Okay.
Yeah. If you put, for example, a grand style in this section, yeah, that style won't be able to speak to your form or your form inputs. So if you are not careful, you are going to get lost in trying to map that particular single style to your form. This is your form input that you have in line 27.
Okay.
You get, so that's why ideally each element that you want to style needs to have a class.
Okay.
Or elements that you want to give a group of style will have the same class. So for example, yeah, I'm styling all my paragraph the same way. So they'll have that, and that, remember we talked about class and we talked about ID. We say ID is styling, ID is unique to a particular element. That means if I give an element ID, that means I'm making that element unique in that document, that HTML document. So that only, I can only apply that style to that element, or I want to refer to that element in JavaScript. You get why classes is used, could be used for groups of elements. I want to apply the same style to group of elements. I can use classes. So for every element you want to style in the HTML doc, you will definitely have a class assigned to them. Yeah. So classes can't be too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other person, please? Okay. Yeah. So let me share my screen and show you something. So I'll just go to google.com. Yeah. You can see this page here. This page looks like nothing is happening. In your mind, you feel I just have the logo, I have the search box, I have this. So let me inspect elements. Let me just even go to view page source. So what Google had done is say this, if you observe, this is style. Yeah. You can see that this is script, it ends here. And this is style. So what they've done is to minimize their CSS style and remove all the spaces. So it's make it easy for the page to load. We're going to get to that. And also you can see that page, as little as that page is, you can see how much stuff you have in there. Then they encrypt the old HTML. You can see they've minimized almost everything here, but you can always see your HTML to tell you this is an HTML doc. So you will always have bunch and bunch of classes IDs in a particular code. Let me share. I don't know if I have, I don't have an HTML code open. I think this is an HTML code. Okay, this is a lot of comment. Jesus. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because this is Angular, yeah. You can see that for almost every class, every element has a class. This is container fluid to tell us. Sorry, please. So this is container fluid to tell us we are basically using Bootstrap. So we are going to be having, you are going to be having a whole lot of that every time. Yeah. Okay, people, let's go back today and look at Bootstrap once again. Okay, so any other person wants to demo what they've done during the week. Mic check. Can we all hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, sorry. Let me shut down some stuff I'm not using for now. Should I start calling names? Who didn't demo last week? Yeah, is I on the call?
Yes, I'm on the call.
Yeah, I. So last week you only demoed 3 lines of code.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So can you show us what you've been up to? So I'm stopping to share now. Yeah.
Okay, this week I've started on CS that I actually did some things, but then I lost a lot of files during the week, so I could not really get it back up. But what I was able to do, or what I learned the entire structure of HTML. So I did something basic as following the class I love.
Yeah. Let's see what you've done.
Okay. I'm trying to share my screen. So okay. So yeah, so this is what I worked on during the week. It's very small, but then I feel like it's helping me to understand the basics very properly, and I've been able to understand the major basic of HTML at this point. So if you notice, it's just a very simple organization of everything I learned about HTML. So
Okay. Okay. Who again is on this call? Peace. Where's Peace? Yeah, Peace. Yeah, Peace. Can I see what you've done? What you did over the week? Is it me? Can anyone hear Peace?
No.
Okay, who else wants to go? Brian.
Yes.
good morning.
Okay, morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Brian, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, good.
I
Let's see what you've done over the week.
yeah. I don't know if you're seeing my screen. This is what I managed to do the
Yeah.
whole. Yeah, this is what I managed to do the whole week. Basically almost through. Though I'm having a small problem. Because this is how it is. But I'm having a problem here. I failed to put this search thing, a search icon. I failed, but these other icons I did put them. But I wonder why every time I try the search icon, just can't fit there. Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, that's the only problem I have as per now.
Okay, this is not bad. Yeah, you coming up. Who else wants to show us what they've done? Grace and Debbie, is there any improvement on what you did last week?
Okay, the only thing I added was just um responsiveness on the nav bar. That was the only thing I added. I tried doing carousel, but it was catching my work.
Okay, can I see? Yeah, let's see what you've done. You can share your screen here.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was just here I added responsiveness to. So
Okay. It's really, really coming together. Have you started using Bootstrap?
yeah, I've started using Bootstrap.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Where is Big B? Can we see what you've done? Then Esther be getting ready. Esther be getting ready, yeah? Okay, Esther, can you go ahead as we wait for Big B?
They're scattered.
Esther, is Esther here? And love it, you are joining on 2 devices.
She has issues with her audio.
Oh, okay. Can you share your screen?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Esther shared what she had done. Whose screen is
This is
this?
lovely.
This is love it. Okay. Can you scroll down a bit? Okay, let's see the view. Can we see it in the browser? Okay. Okay, I think we are all not doing badly. What we need to focus upon now is more stuff around spacing, font alignment, font sizes, font weight, to make our designs look more crispy and look more nice. So today, I'm just going to do a recap of what we've done in Bootstrap and what we've done in HTML. Because from next week, I want us to start looking at intro to JavaScript so that we can start doing the core things. We are going to catch up here. I want it to be a bunch of information, then we calm down, then we recap every other thing, then we speed up again. So I'll share my screen right now, then I'll show something. I'll show something and in Bootstrap.
Excuse me, sir. You asked about my improvement. Yeah.
Okay, Grace.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I thought you've shown your. Yeah, Grace, go ahead, please.
I wanted, I redesigned using Bootstrap, but my laptop is having fault. It started Friday morning, so I won't be able to shoot them.
Okay, when can you make that available?
Next week, by Monday, I will be able to show it to you, sir.
Okay, all right. Is Lydia here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. You want to escape, yeah? Yeah, what did you do over the weekend? Over the week, sorry.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is the view in the web browser, what I did. Then in the code, this is the code.
Okay.
This week I was doing responsiveness on various screens.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go back to the web browser? Go back to the web browser. Yeah, let's see the responsiveness. Can you just do inspect element? Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, Big B, have you been able to put together the code? Or is this scattered? Just share your screen. Let's see what's there, what's scattered. I think Conrad, have you shown what you've done?
Just that.
Yeah, just share your screen, share the code. The Conrad should be getting ready too.
I'm not talking to you. Okay. Oh, yes, I'm.
I wanted to say.
Okay, who are we waiting for? Android, are you there?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Let's Bumi get ready. Conrad, are you sharing your code?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what I have. Hold up. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold up.
So what was the new thing you added?
Well, at first, when I did the whole thing, it wasn't with Flex, so I decided to go with Flex. And if you can see, I have my alignments. They are proper and everything. I even managed to align this in the middle, though I haven't yet. I'm yet to work on this Lorium thing, and then. Yeah, I ended up filling this part, yeah, but I was all using Flex so that everything just seems to add up and there is some sort of equality in the design. It's not all scattered and all calculated. So yeah, that's what I have done. For the responsiveness, I tried to do it, but it didn't really go that
Yeah,
well.
right click. Right, just do inspect element. Inspect element. Let's see the way the response. We are using Bootstrap, I believe.
No, I'm not using Bootstrap. I'm using Core CSS.
Yes, yes. Okay, you now need to translate this to Bootstrap. When you translate to Bootstrap, it's going to make the responsiveness easy for you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll probably that's the part we are going to look at today. How to make your stuff responsive using Bootstrap. I'll just walk us through. Then I'll do a bit of how to bring in Bootstrap into your code and the rest. Yeah. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
So, BB, can you share your code? Okay, you can stop sharing now.
Me?
We need to see Grace code on Monday. Yeah. Then Tom, I think Femi Sola said he slept early this morning, so he slept off. That he won't be able to join the class, and Kaiti too had the same challenges. Yeah, guys, I know this won't really be convenient, yeah, and it's not going to be comfortable. But the truth is, yeah, once we put in what we can put in now, it's going to come up as we move on. Okay, this is BB's code, right?
Okay, so the last week I just had like few lines, but I added some, and then when I was trying to overdo, everything scattered. So this is just what I have left.
Can you go down?
Okay.
Can we see the web view? You've not saved the file.
I've not saved what?
You've not saved this file.
I have. Is that why it's not showing?
Yeah, you've not saved it. It's just showing that you've not saved it.
Like, I should just save it now and then it will show.
Yeah. Just save it now.
Okay, wait. This is it.
No, you are not sharing that particular screen. We are still
I'm
seeing
not sharing this one. Can you see this one?
We are seeing your code.
You're not seeing it yet.
Yeah. Okay, just do the screenshot here. Just do the screenshot and share to the group. All right. Let's go.
Yeah,
so
wait. Is it showing now?
Okay, yeah, it's showing now, yo. Okay. Now this is better than last week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, people. Let's go. Today we'll just look at Bootstrap. Android. I know you've not done included Bootstrap. Then Grace, you change yours to Bootstrap, right? I'm trying to do responsiveness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Debbie also. I want Love. Okay, Love has started using Bootstrap. I have not started using Bootstrap. Esther, I've started using Bootstrap. Love it. I've started using Bootstrap. So Lydia, I've started using Bootstrap, and Debbie. So it's only Pete I've not heard from today. Yeah, Pace. I can't hear you, but you need to share your code today, or you share it before Monday. So let me share my screen right now. I don't have and I swapped my system over the week. So what we were working on before. Okay, this is Esther's screen that she shared.
Don't tell me yourself back.
Why?
Well, not said before. Well,
Okay, so I'm going back to get Bootstrap. Today, I'll just put us through how to just do a simple responsive design with Bootstrap. I'll bring in my stuff. Then this Bootstrap have some jump. They have some templates that I can use to just jumpstart whatever I intend to do. Yeah, that covers the basic. For example, I'm just going to pick one that is really plain. Yeah, let me pick this guy, starter template. If you can see the way this template is, Bootstrap starter template. So if I want to use this one, it's two ways. I can go back here. I'll just do view page source. Now, if I do view page source, I'll see everything in this page. I'll just copy everything. This is not the best approach, but I'm just using this to illustrate what we need to do. So I'm starting a new project. Sorry, people. I'll create a new folder here. I'll call it Bootstrap. Sorry, am I audible enough?
Yes, sir. I can hear.
You said?
I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir. It's audible.
Okay. So I'll open. So I'll come here. I'll just open that particular folder. So let me just come and create a new HTML. Lovett, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I copied everything from here. I'll explain them now, and I paste it here. Yeah, if you observe here, I'm going to delete the whole of this line because I don't need it. Then see this bootstrap is not going to show up because it's pointing to something on their server. This is just this is the same thing. Who did it? Who did it again? Lovett did. It's not Lovett. Wait. That used the absolute part on his system. Who did that? Love, yeah.
Yeah,
Love
maybe.
did the same thing. So now if I try to do this, it's not going to work. So I'll just delete this. You can see they brought in an inline style here. They have this CSS file. So I'm going to create my own CSS file. I can call it starter.css. So I have to come here. I'll just create the CSS file and I'll call it starter. They've put in all the nav and everything that I need, also this. Now this is not going to show. My slim.jquery won't show also. So I'll just delete this. So I'll now bring in mine. Remember how, if we want to use Bootstrap, I'll just go back to the documentation. By getting started, you said you need to copy this Bootstrap the CDN and put it in our code. So I'll paste it back. Here. Also remember that we need to copy all the JavaScript. I'll copy the JavaScript and I'll paste it back at the bottom. So I'll just delete all of this guy. So I'll delete all of this guy. I'll just paste this guy here. I'm seeing a bug already in the code. Okay, don't worry, I'll recap now. So let me try and view this in my browser and see what I have. You can see what I have. I have this missing. Yeah. So now this is what I'm trying to illustrate here. You can either pick up a template from here and use it to start up your project, or if I do this, or you just start writing and picking component by component. If I do this now, you can see this is by default responsive for me. I don't know if this is clear to anyone. Mic check.
Yeah,
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay, so I'm going to recap.
you.
Yeah, I'm going to recap this now. So I'm going to pick them component by component. So let's start afresh. I want to delete everything that I have in here. I'll delete this. I'll delete I'll leave only. So I'm coming back. I'm creating an HTML file. I'll call it index. Yeah, so I'll just call this responsiveness. Yeah, we understand this to this bit, right? So
Yeah.
I'll go back now to my Bootstrap. Remember, we said I'll copy this because copy paste is self-explanatory when you come here. I'll put it in your header. So I'll come to my header. Where is my header? This, oh, let me increase. Can we all say, I think it's better now, yeah? I'll come to my header. I'll paste this guy. Then the next thing is, he said I should copy this and put it within my body. You can see just at the closing tag of my body. I'll copy this guy. I'll come to the closing part. This is the guy. I'll paste it here. Yeah. Now this is my body. Let's do something. I'll just do a P. I'll do everything. Okay. I'll just view this. You can see I have everything okay, but nothing else is on the page. So what we're going to just cover today is just a simple responsiveness in Bootstrap and how Bootstrap helps us to achieve that. Then now I want to put in navigation. Say, love, say, I'll come here now. I'll come to navigation bar. I'll show us two approaches to getting this thing done. This is my navigation. You can see this is the sample navigation that is here. Yeah, this is it. So I can just come here and copy this navigation. I'll go to my code. Let me remove this guy now. I'll just paste the navigation here. Let me make it more visible for us. So I'll just paste the navigation here. So if I go back and refresh my page, you can see I have my navigation. I can come here now. And I can see the responsiveness of my navigation. I can close this. if I select this, I can select this, and I'll see how responsive it is. Then if I close it, I still have a bar. I can style it to what I want. Yeah. But I don't want it to get to the edge of my page. Remember, I'm just going to put it inside the container. So if I'm putting it inside the container now, because I didn't want it to get to the edge, yeah. See, I cut all the code. So I can do this guy to signify header. This is just HTML5 tag, yeah. Now I can come here and do class, and I'll just do container. This spelling is wrong. No worry. I don't want to bother myself about that. I'll paste this guy in here. I'll come back to my bootstrap. I'll type container. Sure, you can practically type whatever you want. I just copy it because I don't want to miss that particular class. Then I'll paste it in my class here. I'll refresh my page. I've saved now. If I go back and refresh my page, you can see now that it doesn't fit to all the edges of my code. So sometimes if you want to keep all the spaces between, you can give your body this container class, and it's going to by default fit everything. So if I move this guy up and put it in my body, it should give everything. You can see, so I can freely type wherever I put inside my body now, is going to fit into that. So I can now start styling my nav. I don't want my nav to be light. I want it to be dark. So is it that I do nav bar dark, and now do background dark. Now I'll show us where you can pick all of this styling from, how you intend to style. You can see it has changed to dark. Yeah. If I go back to my bootstrap and I do now, say, if I read through this, it's going to tell me all the stylings available for my navbar and how I can space them. Use our space or flex utility class for controlling the spaces and alignment within the navbar. So I can see my navbar brand, which contains, always keep the company name and the company logo. My navbar, my navbar toggle. You can see this is the brand. So this is my navbar brand, and this is light. If you keep coming down to navbar, you see the explanation and how you can put from into it. So I won't go into all of those details. You can see replacement. You see default is always this, and you can fix it to the top if you want to, or you fix it to the bottom. So if I do bottom now, or I make it sticky. If I do bottom, where's my navbar? So you can see my nav automatically come to the bottom because I'll fix it to, and if I try to inspect the element, you're going to see that it's responsive. So these are the advantages that Bootstrap actually brings to the table to enhance what we do. So I'll just remove this guy back. Okay, good. So let's now look at how to do simple responsiveness in Bootstrap. So I've done my header. Let's just do a section here. Then we'll make this particular section responsive. Then I'll explain the column bits of Bootstrap and how things work. So I'm going to be illustrating these with class. Remember, role is in Bootstrap. Okay, I don't want to start explaining it of my head. Then I'll just go to the doc, show you what role is, then I'll explain. The essence of this approach for me, yeah, is for everybody to be able to search for problem yourself, an ability to use documentation. So I don't want to explain everything my way so that you don't get screwed, stick to my explanation of concept here, which is, I'm sure, not the best. Yeah, so now this is, what did I do? This is row. Now, rows columns are just, they are used, the responsive grid rows here. If you use the responsive grid row here classes to quickly set numbers of column that best render your content and layout here. Rows and column are awesome, yeah, when you are trying to build a responsive site using Bootstrap, because by default, all you need to learn now is the way Bootstrap tries to apply breakpoints to all their classes by the use of MD, and I'll get there now. MD, Excel, some of us must have been using that SM. So I'm using row now. So if I go back to the code, I've done row. I can break this row into columns. See, if I do this column now, it means for every view, I want you to just use the same column for all the views. So let me make this guy, I'll apply background dark color to this guy. Then I'll do test muted to give me a whitish kind of text. I'll just do, so that I can see, I'll just do padding. Let me just do padding or true. I'll do 2. Then I'll just do this guy. I'll do responsive column. So I'll just come back here and refresh my page. You can see my responsive column here. So this happens because I made this guy dark background. So I'll just go back up to this section. I'll just give this guy margin. We remember all of this, margin top, so that this guy can come down. Why did I put this div? I'll get rid of it. So just ignore. Yeah, so this guy can come down a bit. Let me make my page a little bit cleaner. So I'll just remove, I don't want this guy to be dark any longer. I'll just make it light, so that at least my page looks fine a bit. Mic check. Are we all still with me, or I'm with myself?
We are here. We are here.
We're here.
Okay. Wait, is anything confusing right now? Is anything confusing right now?
Yes.
Yeah, what part is confusing?
Yes,
What part is not clear?
Yeah, there was a place you typed text muted. I don't understand that side. I mean, what's the essence of that text muted?
Okay, so okay, good. It's just a class. You can see the way my text is showing. Yeah, it's not white. It's not. It's just a CSS style. So let me just do from here. I'm doing inspect elements. I want to remove it from responsiveness. I'll go to test muted. Yeah, you can see If you come and see my code, you can see that test muted is just applying a color and making it important. If I remove the color, it's just going to be black. So test muted is just a CSS style. It's more like an off-white. It blends the color inside whatever color of the background. So for example, I can go back here now. It's just a CSS style that applies color. Let me go back to, yeah, I'll just make it test white. So you see the difference. Or test danger. I'll do test white. You can see, do you see the difference now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so it's just a test. Okay,
Another
so
question.
yeah, go ahead.
The background dark, is it only applicable to div only?
No. You
Like
can,
it's applicable.
yeah, say this but is a class. Say, let me come back here now. What we should understand is, because it's a class here, you can apply it to wherever you want to apply dark color to. Then I'll inspect that element now. Say, yeah, let me give this guy padding so that we can see the difference. I'll just give padding to, let me give margin top 3 so that we have a lot of difference there. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can see it.
You can
The
see
reason why
where,
I the reason
because
why I
it's doing a
asked
deal. Yeah.
the
Go
reason
ahead.
why I asked this question was because when I was trying to code, I tried, there are some at some point, anytime I put this background, it won't work. So I'll have to go to my CSS and start styling it from there again. So that was why I was asking if it is only applicable to div only.
No, it's not. It must have been that you were doing something wrong.
Maybe.
Yeah, but by default it should be. Okay, so let's quickly, yeah. So you can see now. So I'll go back to Bootstrap. Then I want to show us. Something about breakpoints in Bootstrap. We basically use breakpoints to do, yeah, responsive breakpoints. Yeah, we use breakpoints to basically map interfaces to screens. So that's what we use.
Give me that's where the milk cutter was.
1 minute, please.
It's like giving your milk cutter was.
Yeah, I'm going to come back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, close the door. Yeah. So each breakpoint, yeah, is actually mapped to a screen size. Yeah, I'm not going to go deep into media querying so that I don't confuse the point of this. But this is where what I want to illustrate. If you see this particular page now, you have this breakpoint XL, you have SM, you have MD, you have large, you have extra large. These are all devices screen sizes that Bootstrap has already laid out for us. So I'll just go back to my column now. Then I'm going to explain. Okay, yeah. I'm going to explain. Okay, this is great. This is not what I'm looking for. Yeah. If you come here now, you can see I'm having here, I have column XM, which means small devices. I'm looking for that point that it's breaking out in the documentation. Okay, this is the page. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll use this to just illustrate that. Now, so if I had, for example, I'll copy this column. This is medium. Yeah. If I put this guy here, remember our role in Bootstrap only have 12 columns. A row can only have 12 columns. Yeah. So I'll just do this one, I'll do this 2, and I'll do this 3. Because I've done 4, 4, 4, that is it's multiple of 12. So if I come back to my page and I refresh, just see what happened. You can see I now have it. I'm going to just change the color now. I'll do BG dark. I'll beat the. Now see all these BG, I didn't cram them here. When you keep using them, you get to know all of this color offhand. And sometimes I bring them Bootstrap directly into my page so that my IDE can just suggest them to me. So I'll just do this guy. I just want to, yeah. You can see it splits this guy into 3 because I did column of 4 for each. See what happened now if I'm doing responsiveness. Let me make this guy 100%. I don't know why this is showing this one. Yeah. You can see what is happening here. That is just mapping it, it's not bringing it down. So for every device, you just map them to the screen and everything just map throughout.
Quick question, sir.
That is one. Now, you said?
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's on that page, please. If you go back to that page. Yes, all this iPhone, that. Is it that we are designing specifically for a device, or in case any device goes on a page, it's response based on their screen resolution?
Yes, that is the essence of this. So you can see the responsiveness of your page.
Okay.
Yeah, so if somebody opens this in Android now, I'm expecting the view to look close to this.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is because we've not done a whole lot of stuff with responsiveness. That is why we are having this.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm going to build it to an extent that we have a whole lot of content that we can see how to map. So that is what this does. See, if I change this to 3, remember, if it's a multiple of 12, yeah, I have 1 left. So this needs to be 4 columns. So I'll do 4. So let me change this to warning. I'll just refresh. You can see I have warning here. And it's 4. See, if I make it, if I have the 5th one, see what happened to the 5th one. It comes down straight. Yeah, because each row can only take 12 columns. So everything I'm doing within a row have to be a multiple of 12. So if I do this 2, 2, remember I can do 2, 2 and do 4, yeah, and also do 4. See what I get. You can see this column 1 and column 2 are the same size, while column 3 and column 4 are the same size. You can be creative about this depending on what you want to achieve. I can even remove this and do 6 and 4. So this is 2 and this is 3. You can see what I have now. So this is how you use your column. Okay, so I'm going back to grid. So I'm going to change this to large. Let's see something. I want to change the, I don't want, okay, I don't want to go to the, I want to change this to SM. Yeah, so I'll change this to column. See, I can do this guy in almost all my devices. I want this to be, this to be 4. And then on small size, I want this to still be this to be 8. Then I want this to be 2. Yeah, so that I have 12. But for this is 4, this is 4. I want this to also be 4. I'm just going to play around with all of the colors. Let's see, all of the column format. Let's see how it goes. You can see this is 4, 4, 4. Yeah, this picks this, it picks this, and it's picking this. So if I want, let me see what happens if I do responsiveness. So I know something is wrong with this. Yeah, so now, yeah, I can see that something is practically wrong with this because all of them are still keeping to the same responsive format. So let's go to Bootstrap and solve our problem. Yeah, I'll come here. And this speaks to column. These are more deep. Yeah. Responsive display utility. So this is explaining how responsive display works. Align, block. Then I'm going to experiment all of that. Let me just start from, display. Yeah, it says display utility classes that apply to all breakpoints. We've talked about breakpoints, yeah? We said breakpoints just measure, these are the media query that we use this guy to measure the screen sizes. So I'll go back. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chart here. So we use breakpoint to just measure screen sizes. So it starts from XL to, from X, that is extra small to extra large. Yeah. Have no midpoint, no breakpoint abbreviation in them. So I'll just go, I'm just keeping through this so that we can get it up. I'm going to display. Anywhere you see D, yeah, D means display. Then I can have this level of display. I can have display none, and I'm going to experiment all of them now. I can have display inline, I can have display inline block, I can have display block, display table. So let's start from display none. So if I come to, I want to style that particular column. So for this particular guy, if I do D norm, see what happens. Nothing is going to show because I've set my display node to 0. You can see nothing is showing because I said the display should be no. Then I can change my display to line. You can see so my display is in line. Then you can make your display block. Oh shit. You can see what happened when I change my display to block. Yeah, it brings them under each other. So you have that to manage display. You can make it table, you can make it flex. Like I know Android was using flex in its HTML. So if you do this flex by default, yeah, you are just using the every you are using the flex style over. Sorry, I'm trying to add the one. So if you do this, you're just using the flex boss out of the box, just that way. Now you might want to compare how the flex box and the inline work, but they are completely different. When we go deep, you see this. So that is, let me go back here. So you can see you have a whole lot of stuff. Then I can hide it for different view size. I can choose to hide for block. I can choose to hide for medium. I can choose to hide for extra large screen, or I can just make visible for all. So you can see visible only on Excel is just V and this is it's just going to be visible only on Excel. So let me do this guy. Yeah, but that is medium. Let me now make it Excel. By default, we are using the inline. Yeah. So something is wrong with, I'll get back to that. So we can do display print. So that's all about, that's display. Yeah. Now, the core thing I want to establish today, yeah, for us, which I want us to go through over the week, is the breakpoints in Bootstrap and how we can apply them to responsiveness of our pages, which is the SM, the MD, the large, the Excel. I don't know if anybody have question. Or is there any other, is there something you want me to just share more light with? Is something that is not clear before I move on? My check.
Yes, sir. I have a question,
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
is not about is when I was studying, I had a problem in differentiating between aligned content and aligned items. I understand aligned items, but I was having problem with aligned content. I don't know if you can come
Okay, item is that particular item in the flex div, while content is every content in the flex div. So you are speaking more when you are using flex, right?
Yes, sir.
So say if I do, I'm just going to pick you can see this is what you have when you are doing alignment. I'll just use something to demonstrate that. So I'm going to remove, for flex here, you won't need, most of the time you won't have to put the column, yeah. I can just put this thing, and by default, it's just going to align all of them. So let's use this to experiment. So let's start with align content. You can see these are align item, a particular item within that div. Align self-centered. I'll go back up and do let me start with end. So if I do justify content to the beginning, I need to style this so that we can see. You can see what happened, that it justify all of them to the beginning. So let's do, I'm looking for, if I do end, so I'm not going to ask you justify all of them to the end. Now, are you trying, Deborah? Is it Deborah that asked the question?
No, it's great, sir.
Okay, great. Yeah. If you are trying to, you said if you are trying to align everything in this box, everything in this in a particular div, yeah, the best approach is to use justify content here. So I can do justify content, for example. I know that justify content between, yeah, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and it's going to spread them in between. So this applies to every item within this particular Flexbox div. Yeah. So if you are trying to apply, what you want to do is apply to just, let me throw this guy. This guy by default just pick this. If you want to apply to just, for example, this, and you do align, I'm just going to pick this style now from here. You can see this is align item. I do the align item. I want to do align item. I want to apply it to a particular. Let me just pick self now. Okay, this is align item to the end. Align items. You can see this is align items to the end, which work closely to, let's read this now. Flavor individual change their elements to on the cross axis. This is for individual. If you come to justify, if you read what is in justify, Flex container changes the alignment of Flexbox items on the main axis. When you come to align item, it changes the alignment of Flexbox item on the cross axis. That is the y axis. If you observe, this guy goes to the top. Yeah, that is alignment. Alignment comes top, bottom. You have your base and you have your stretch. If you see your stretch, stretch it everything out. Yeah, so align self, itemize individual changes, change their alignment on the cross axis also. So this is for self. When you align, you either go top which is your start now, then your end, which is going to be the bottom, then the center, which is going to be obviously the center and the base. So that is alignment. Alignment come vertically. I don't know if that answers your question. So if I go back here, and if you paste this align to the end, you see what happened. But I need to I'll give that guy an height now. You can see you didn't see any changes there. Let me give this guy, sorry, I'll just come inside and do height. Can you see what happened? Yeah? Great, you can see when you align here, you are aligning vertically. This is vertical, yeah, this is horizontal, yeah. If I come back and do align, where's the guy? Align item starts. If you take it to the top.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
When I use align items, it aligns the whole content. So I don't know why what is now going to be the role of align content since my align items aligns the whole content.
See align, if you want to do align item, you put align item on align items. Yeah. See what happened. This is going to be conflicting. Let me remove this guy. Yeah, let me give this guy a background so that we can see it. Or let me just apply border to it. Let me do border. Just ignore the styling. Yeah, I just want to be able to show some. So this is align items. Yeah. I'm aligning all the item. If I do start, yeah, I'm aligning all the items in the box. You can see it's moving. But if I want to do individual item, yeah, so that's where you now align. If I come here now and do align self.
Sir, what about align content? Align content, sir.
I'm coming. We experiment. You can see because I've applied that guy, this is not taking effect, or the spelling of my align self is wrong. Okay, this is align self starts. Yeah. So let's now experiment something. I'll change this to align content. Yeah, this is what you are saying.
Yes, sir.
You can see what happened. So I'll pick that style. I'll go here. I'll just search it. Align content. You can see what align content is doing to your game. It's a utility on Flexbox container to align flex items together on the cross axis. Choose from start, end, center, between, run, and stretch. So ideally, your align item here behave almost as align items because it's doing everything to that Flexbox. So if I pick this design now, it's doing wrap. You know what flex wrap means? Flex wrap is what makes this guy not to go outside the box. So if I do this guy, and I come back and refresh this. So I want to change it to end. Do you see what happened? Alignment is, let me change it. Let me just do something. Let me do between. I think this dude has between. Okay, it doesn't have between. Yep. So yeah, it has. I don't want to guess. I want to make sure it's in the middle. Yeah, it does have between align content. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. So this is the middle. This is center. You can see what happened. Yeah. So alignment, just if I change this to but you know we also have instead of align content, I want to do justify. Just see the difference. Maybe it's going to. You can see what happened. Yeah. So justify kind of helps you arrange your stuff horizontally the way you want it, while alignment it's vertical. So if I change this guy to alignment now, align, you can see what you have. Yeah.
Sir, does that mean that align content and align items, they are doing the same thing?
Yeah. In most cases, depending on what you want to say, let's do something. Align items. Can you see? That is why it's items. You are aligning the all items in this particular day. So if I do this guy now, you can see if I do start will take it to the top. But you can change this guy to justify and see what happens when I do justify. You can see justify foods the whole column, and if I do justify end, or justify items, let me do between. Yeah, so something is wrong with my justify items. That my spelling. Oh, sorry, this guy should be. Yeah, that guy should be content. So justify content, align items. Yep. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir, it does. Yes, sir.
So yeah, so this week, I don't know if any other person have questions.
Yeah, I do. I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to ask, like, is it okay if I just learn CSS instead of this? I just put my emphasis on CSS.
Okay. I, one, it's not. It's not okay, and I'll tell you why. Why is because you are not going to be working alone,
Okay.
right? Most time you are going to work in team. You work for a company. You have 4, 5. Like my current team, I have about 4 front-end developers. Yeah. So what we've adopted is Bootstrap, and the essence is if you understand what justify content between does, yeah, every other member of the team knows that just anywhere you use justify content between, yeah, we are doing the same thing. But if I'm doing just my own vanilla CSS stuff, I can go all out and you see this justify content between, yeah?
Yeah.
If I come to CSS, I can change this to whatever I want. That is me at Sam. For example, if I do anywhere I have justify content here, I want the background to be, let me do something obvious. I'll say the background to be black. And I went and put it important. Yeah?
Yeah.
Have I included this guy here? Okay, I've not. So let me just include him. See what happened to my code now. You can see.
Yeah, I can see.
So now you can come and just write this your own way. So if, for example, Big B pick your code or I or pick your code, you don't be wondering, oh, what you come here. You will now have to first come here, then go and look for this your style. Oh, this is what you are trying to do. You are doing justify important. Then Ayo can now come in his own infinite wisdom and just say, okay, for every justify content, I want all my fonts, yeah, or I want to do text declaration for all my fonts. Now the text declaration said, maybe probably the guy was so tired that day. He just felt, let me just give all of them on that line, job. See what happened. If you observe, yeah, let me make the color of my text white. Then I come here, I do color. You get now we've messed up this naming convention that is justify content between that agrees understands. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's why it's important, and that is why when we are done with this, yeah, we are going to be going into say Angular and React because they are framework. Angular is a framework, React is a library. Angular is a framework, so it gives standard for everybody. So I can easily pick your code and understand what you are doing by just asking you like question because I understand the framework. That's why it's important, yeah, that we
Yeah.
all learn this. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks difficult, right?
Yeah. It looks
Don't worry. What I'll do this week is I'm going to share. You said?
it looks a little bit more complicated than the actual CSS itself.
Yeah, but it's built with CSS. It's just
Ah,
to understand. So I'm going to share like a crash course on Bootstrap again for everybody. They have to go through this
okay.
week. Yeah,
Okay.
so that we
Yeah.
can go through that this week. Then in between, yeah, I'll share one other content on JavaScript this week that I want us to go through.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. I would
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I've joined it. Yeah, any other question?
So I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. If I do an inline styling, I've not tried this, but I don't want to forget. So I just want you to help me try it now. Like an inline styling in HTML, and then in CSS, you put that important stuff there. Will it override the styling you've done in HTML?
Will you override the styling you've done in HTML? Let's try it now.
Like the inline styling?
Yeah, say, you can see I've done important background. Yeah, see what happened.
Yeah.
I'll come here. I'll give you background. Let's change the color. That just answer your question straight. Yeah, I want to make the color red. Yeah.
Okay.
See what happened.
Okay.
Which color is still showing? Black.
Black.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I said this is important. Like, don't override it. That is the implication of important. See, if I remove it now, see what happened. You can see it's not favoring what I have in my inline. Yeah. See, if I make this inline important, yeah, I want see inline is still there because I did important. But if I come back here and I make this also important, what do you think will happen? Which will it favor?
Inline.
It's going to favor inline. Yeah, because they both have the same attribute and inline has important. Yeah. So important means don't override as long as there is no any other preferences on it. So if I remove it, if I remove this from here, it's saying please make this. Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
Do you understand that now?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay, so any question around Bootstrap columns? Yeah, so this week I'll share a link for us to just master Bootstrap and responsiveness in Bootstrap. To master responsiveness in Bootstrap, we need to master the breakpoints and the column structure in Bootstrap. Then that also speak to the alignment and part of things also. So I'll share a video that we can use. Then also, I know some group currently are doing studies every week. Yeah. The whole essence of this is for us to learn from each other. If you learn a new concept, when you explain to the next person, it kind of stick. Yeah. That is why I'm not making everything more like a YouTube tutorial. I didn't prepare anything. Like, I slept extremely late today. So I just pull up the system and I just want to show us how we can find solutions by ourselves by looking at the documentations. Then I want us to really do video sharing with each other. You learn a new concept, or somebody explain to the person. If anybody is running into an issue, yeah, don't let's wait till Saturday before we bring it up. Call anybody. Yeah, Akram is always there. Post me up on WhatsApp. I'll respond to you. If I didn't respond immediately, I'll get back to you. Yeah. Any other question or any other thing that is worth noting before we call it a day?
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm wondering, once I use the various breaking points for responsiveness, like extra small devices,
Yeah.
does that mean I shouldn't bother doing media queries where I define maximum width and minimum width?
Yeah, except for extreme cases where you want to customize to fit in what you are doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just ask something?
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to know, can I get responsiveness if I only use CSS?
Without using Bootstrap,
Yeah,
so you have to now be writing media queries.
okay.
Yeah, and it's a whole lot of headache.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of headache. That is another place where mastering Bootstrap shines.
Yeah, okay.
You have to start writing, like what you do with just column with the breakpoint, SM, column, MD, column, XL. If you are doing it with CSS, that means you need to write your own bunch of media query to fit in into all the views that you want. And as your application becomes larger, yeah, as your
Yeah.
application becomes larger, you start running into a lot of troubles with the media queries, except you are the only one maintaining the code.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that.
So, any other question before I say this?
Okay, so just a quick one.
Okay.
Please, at what point should we consider margin instead of padding?
Okay, margin. Yeah, like I said, margin is outside, spacing outside, padding is within. So let me quickly illustrate that with code.
Okay.
See, you can see this is my column 1, yeah? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Love, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can
Okay,
see
so
it.
see, I want to do padding now. See, I'm doing padding. So I'm doing padding 2. See what happened to it, yeah?
Okay.
Oh, no. Wait, let me remove all the other stylings so that you can see. Then I'm removing these guys. Then I'm removing this guy. Let me just remove all of this guy. Yes, sir. Do you see what happened to this guy? Wait, it's not obvious. Yeah, let me change it. Wait, don't worry. I'll make it very. Then I'll remove these heights. This height is messing me up. I'll just remove the whole of this stuff. Okay, good. Then let me remove the. Let me just make my tests. Yeah, just come here and do tests. Now you see what happened to this guy. Yeah. The padding happened within.
Okay.
Like within that particular element. Let me increase the padding so that you see what happened. Let me make it 4.
Okay.
Can you see what happened?
Yeah.
It's padding right. So if I do inspect element now, I'll remove this guy. I'll do inspect element. You can see that it's telling me the padding 4. It gives this like a shade around the item because it's padding. Yeah. So that is a sort of padding. Padding just provide within an element, spacing within an element. Let me change this guy to margin. You see what happened? You can see that this is spaced from top within this element. If I refresh now, you can see it completely space it from the other guys.
Okay.
And my element still have what it has, but it now has space outside.
Outside, okay.
Yeah, so margin is more like social distancing. You get, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, so we'll call it a day. I wasn't thinking we'd spend this long today. So this week, yeah, I want us, Brian,
Yes.
most especially Brian, yeah? Brian, I want to see what you're going to do with Bootstrap by Wednesday. So by Wednesday, I'm going to be chatting you up. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to send a crash, like a 1 hour crash course on Bootstrap. Then I'll share some stuff on responsiveness in Bootstrap, how to do your column and how to do your alignment. Then I'll share one or the probably a 30-minute crash course on JavaScript. For those that are moving really fast, you can just go to the JavaScript and back it up with the responsiveness in Bootstrap. Yeah. All right,
Okay.
people. Yeah, thanks for your time. Yeah, if you have any question, you have anything, just drop it on the call. Okay. Esther,
Okay. Thank you so
Esther,
much.
make sure you stay safe. Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Baby,
Don't
thank you
answer
for
my
this week.
Thank you,
question.
sir. Thanks.
Who has a
Okay,
question?
okay.
Mic check. Someone has a question.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
want.
answer my question?
I didn't answer your question.
Okay, sorry.
Conrad, you want to say something?
No,
Yeah,
not really.
I wanted to share something. I don't know if it's okay.
No, what is it? As long as it's coding, it's okay.
Okay, I wanted to know, like, how do I change the color of the icon? Like, if you see my shopping cart here, it's still black. How do I change the color? Like here.
Yeah, right click.
Yeah.
Go to your code. Go to your code. Let me ask, who knows how to change this color? How do we change the color of the item? Go to your code. Where is your icon? Are you using font awesome?
No, I'm not using font awesome.
Yeah, let me see. What are you using for your icon? Okay,
I got,
this is come.
I,
I've seen.
I got my icon from what's that site? Design
I've seen
mechanic.
your icon.
Yeah. Are you saying it?
So because your icon is an image, yeah, it's
Yeah.
an image. So you need to change the color of that particular image. Is it like you open it up in Photoshop to change the style? Yeah. But I'm seeing font awesome inside here. So why are you using the two?
No, this one I added it there because I'd failed to change it. So I first used the source thing, the assets icon and shopping cart. It's the one showing there, but the other one refused to work.
So let me see, where is your part? Why did you do part to font awesome? That is why it's not working. Yeah, where is your font awesome here?
My font awesome. No, I didn't use font awesome as such. I didn't use it.
Wait, chill. See, line 8.
Okay.
Yeah, you copied something here, but you didn't copy it fine. You copied look,
Yeah.
it has part to font awesome, CSS. So where is the font awesome? And this is wrong because you don't have any folder that is part or to. Yeah?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that is why your font awesome is
Okay,
not working.
the thing was I was trying to explain it to him using font awesome. So when you get to font awesome, like that's what I did, but I don't know why it didn't work for him. There's a link when you click get started. So you copy and paste it on your code. But it worked for me, so I don't know why. I don't understand.
Deborah,
Maybe I'm not doing something very right. Yes, sir.
Right, so you also put paths to font awesome in your link to the font awesome CSS.
I cannot remember if it was part, but it was that link on Get Started. Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
do this quickly. Let's do this quickly for every other person that wants to use font awesome. Yeah. So yeah, let me do it. I'll just share my screen.
Okay.
Then I'll show you something. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to do font awesome, yeah, you want to bring font awesome, I'll just come here. I'll do font. You can see this is my font awesome.io. I know they now have version 5 that is paid for. Yeah, I don't know why my internet is terrible. Okay, oh, this is on 6. I know they've now started paying for this. Let me see. Where are the old versions? I've not used this in a very long. This is fun. Yeah. This doc. Okay. See, Brian. Yeah. See how is this the same? Yeah. No, this is what you copied. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
you are doing parts to. So you are supposed to download. Hey, man, I'm not use this in God knows when. You're supposed to download it. Download font awesome to your desktop.
Oh.
But excuse that, is it okay to use the CDN instead of downloading it?
Yeah, I'm even looking for the CDN.
It's in the dashboard, sir.
Where?
Yes, Get Started. Like
Where
start.
is get started?
Just start. I think you go
God, get started for free. CDM kits.
Scroll down.
That icon
Scroll down.
on the left. On the right, sorry.
Oh,
I think that's
This is to download. Where? This is
on the right.
This install. Anyway, say let's do something. You can either download it or you use CDM. I can't find the CDM link right now, so I don't want to even waste my time. So if you download this guy, anyway, why am I wasting my time? See, you can do this guy. You can do font awesome CDM. That's another approach to solve the problem. Yep, this is the part. Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, just copy this guy like this. Yeah, and put it in your code, and everything should work. That part where you have font, parts to font awesome, just put this there.
Okay.
Yeah, and everything should work. If it doesn't work, just bust me up.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. So the problem was because you can't find out your part. Yeah?
Okay.
Any other question, please? And let's put our questions on that training. Let's ask questions there. Any other person can just jump at it. Remember, the bottom line is let's collaborate together. Let's learn together. Yeah. Today is today is 18. Yeah. So we are 18 days into this. Yeah, we are doing pretty well. Hopefully by the end of the month, our bootstrap, our responsiveness will be solid. Then we use the whole of next month to go deep, deep, deep into JavaScript. But I want us to introduce JavaScript this week. Yeah. All right, people. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you a lot. Thank you a
Yeah.
lot.
Goodbye.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you.